to the Fall Fest edition of the Coachfield Junkin' Show inside Buccaneer football. We are coming to you from the annual Fall Fest. A little bit change of backdrop this week. You know, we just get through with the fair and you think there's no bigger show on earth, and then you have the Fall Fest, and every year you swear it's going to top the fair. It keeps growing. But Coach, this is the playoff episode. Glad to have Coachfield Junkins. Of course, you'll recognize our defensive coordinator, Coach Dean King. A huge win. We'll talk about it first over Columbia Academy. What a turnaround. 52-0 Columbia at our place was the score last year, and then we turned that into a rout at their place.
I thought the kids played very well. You know, game plan was to go in, run the football, and you know, we had talked during the week, Jason talked during the week, Jeff, that if we threw more than 3 passes, something was wrong.
Right.
We should be able to run the football. We felt like we could, and we did. You know, Dean had a tremendous plan defensively, and you know, he's been so patient all year with a lot of kids. And you can just see it welling up some days. You might want to grab one and son, can you get this? But the kids are starting to figure this thing out.
Right.
And I thought defensively he had a great game plan. Kids played well. We were able to get some stops. You know, obviously it's a big ball game because there's a lot of, I'm not going to call it dislike, but it's a rivalry. It always has been, always will be, and so tensions get high, things get said. But hey, at the end of the day, football game was won, and it puts us into the playoffs. It didn't change our location, but the team changed due to what they were able to do. So, you know, we're on the road this week, and we'll go to Carroll Academy, and we'll see if we can get it done.
Right. Well, there's a lot on the line there at the Columbia game last week. Not exactly sure the mathematics if you still be in the playoffs, win or lose, but the thing to do in order to guarantee your spot was to win.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I've often told people, it's not that I'm against you, it's that I'm for me. And things now, I always have to say, you know, sometimes whenever I might hurt somebody's feelings and get mine hurt, hey, that was football. You know, if we sit down over here at the Sugar Shack and eat lunch, we get along great. But at a football game, that's different.
Yeah.
So, Dean, I know the defense played spectacular. You had a couple guys come in that have not had starts. I think about Cam Seal, the deal, and even Tucker Hickman was just in the backfield a lot. Talk a little about the defensive performance at Columbia.
Well, you know, just going off of, we talking about Cam Seal and Tucker Hickman, those are 2 guys that we've worked a lot all year long. And those 2 guys, we believe they can really make a difference in our football team, the defensive side of football for this year mainly. And it was just a time of being patient, like Coach Phil said earlier, being patient, steadily working those guys, not giving up on anybody, you know, believing in those guys. And it shows Friday night what those 2 guys can do for us on the defense side of football. And they brought energy, they brought effort, and look, they just played good. They hustled, they did what we asked them to do, and what we've always knew they could do. And it showed that night. You know, and also, you know, just things we've relentlessly just went over, you know, just effort, tackling, just doing your job. We're going to be simple, but we want to be effective in what we do. And those guys done it. We did it that night, you know, and I believe if we continue to do those things with what we have offensively, with the weapons we have offense, and we're able to move football. Defense, if we can just do our job, make some big stops, maybe pull on some turns like we're going to do Friday night, it makes us very good at what we do, and I believe we can continue doing that.
Yeah.
You know, to add to that, Josiah moving, and we've been kind of waiting on this year. I mean, there's a reason you do some things. There's no sense getting him hurt against Park Lane and Oak Forest because we've got him running the ball so much. But having him on the defensive side of football the other night was a major difference. We talked about it all year, and now we've made it to that time of year, Jeff, where it's win or go home.
Right.
We all know that. Everybody knows that. And so, from a perspective of what he was able to bring on the defensive side of the ball, he rushes the ball 25 times for 222 yards. So his play there, and with he and Kyron on defense at the same time, they give us two edge guys that are pretty tough, and those young guys have a lot more confidence inside. I also thought that Drake Killingsworth played very well the other night, and just a tough kid. And our younger guys get better every time they go out. And we're still young. We're not going to change that. But we're getting better every time we go out. And we've got a great challenge this week, but we're excited about it.
Yeah. Speaking of playing a great game, one of my favorite players, he was in the paper today that we're Alex Bullseye Rock.
Yeah.
We're just going to go ahead and drop the Alex part of it. Bullseye, 7 for 7. That's got to be a record, because first of all, your team has to score 7 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Now Jake Rayburn said that he was 7 for 7 during his day, and I don't doubt it. But
do we have records though, Jim?
No.
All right. Well, see, we can't take that at his word if we don't have records.
Yeah,
so that's what we're going to tell Jake tomorrow.
When Jake played, they recorded the games on scrolls.
They must have done yours and mine in rock.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
Now, Carroll Academy, talk a little bit about where that is and what we can expect out of it.
Well, Carroll Academy is located in Carrollton, Mississippi. They're in the Delta. Small town. I think Carrollton, I talked with Coach Milton this past week, and he said, Coach, when I got here, there were 190 people in it. He said, we made it 195. So it's a small town. They have size. They've got a couple of kids, number 4, number 7, that are extremely physical. They're great edge players. They run the ball well. They throw the ball well. Are they tri-county? No. But they're a solid football team. However, we feel like we can play with them. We want to run the football. Now, I will say this. They haven't played a team all year that lines up like we do.
Right.
And we're kind of an unusual team in today's NAIS football. Everybody else is in the shotgun, taking snaps, rolling out, throwing the ball all over the place. We just don't do a lot of that. So, I'm sure that Coach Milton has had them working hard this week, getting ready, because he's a heck of a football coach. He was at Brookhaven for a while. He was at Park Lane. I've known Bo a long time, and he's a good football coach. And his kids will be well prepared. And the thing about it is so wise.
Right.
And defensively, against us going offensively, they're going to get the 5-man front. They're going to bring linebackers, but I think one of the good things for us is playing teams like Oak Forest, playing teams like Park Lane, playing teams like Tri-County Silliman, some of these teams, Presbyterian. Well, I mean, we've played great teams, and if they're a great team, sure, anybody can be beaten on Friday night, but we've seen tough football. So it's not like we're going to walk in there and go, oh, wow, they hit harder than anybody else.
Right.
Because if somebody hits harder than Oak Forest, I want to meet them.
Yeah.
So when you go down to that, it's one of those things. We've been there and we've played those teams. Some we played well, some we haven't. But it's just been one of those things. Now, what they do offensively, I'm going to let Dean kind of fill you in a little bit more on that, because he's probably studied more film this week than we have in a long time to prepare for this one.
Yeah. We're no stranger to the pain.
Correct.
So we won't be caught off guard if you play a team that's coming with everything they have. I told somebody at the fair, I said, how do we match up against Carroll Academy? I said, it don't matter how good a team is. If they have a weakness, and that weakness is we don't do that good against the run. we got them.
Yeah.
Because we're an exceptional running team. Dean, talk a little bit about the defensive plan, what you've seen on film, and what everybody can expect Friday night.
Well, you know, I mean,
Don't give them too much.
I'm gonna keep it very simple, very simple. You know, the one thing they do well is they've got some offensive threats. They got a good mobile quarterback, and they like to roll him out left and right, and they got two good players at 4 and 7. Heck, the running backs, they both run hard. You know, 7's more the guy that he goes to pass, and he roll out, gets a pass, he runs it hard, you know, and they got another receiver I throw to the 12 that's kind of the go-to guy as far as passing wise. And the main thing that's defensive that we talk about all week is, look, it don't matter what they do, we got to be good at what we do. And, you know, and we're going to keep doing what we've been doing. We're going to keep working on the small things. You know, we've got a coverage in it. We've worked, you know, before and all year. And the biggest thing is this: we got to tackle when the carry comes to us, and we got to be strong up front. You know, and we got to stop the run. And you know what? They're going to beat us throwing it deep, and we'll take our chances on that. You know, at the end of the day, we just got to do what we have to do. Stop what they're trying to do best. And I believe everything else will fall into place.
Well, that's what we're counting on. We're going to be leaving. I think school might let out early tomorrow. We'll get on the bus and head up for that 7 o'clock start. Final thoughts before we go to break?
Well, you know, first of all, to our fans that have followed us and been with us all year and hung in there, even when things hadn't been great, we appreciate you. Our support groups have been phenomenal. You know, everybody's planning on making a ride tomorrow. We got a pep rally. The kids have been making signs for these kids all week. And, you know, our young men are excited. They're ready to play. You know, we've made it to that point where we want to accept the challenge. Right. And I think that's one of the things we've been looking at all year is when are we going to get out of that, oh, well, we have to play. Oh, well, what if this happens? What if that happens too? Hey, it doesn't matter what happens. Let's accept the challenge and let's go for it. And I feel very confident that our kids will come out. I know they're going to play. Right. And we are learning how to handle when things don't go well. You know, there's going to be a time something's going to happen. We're going to have to overcome that. And I think the kids have learned a lot about that this year. And this coaching staff, you know, has done a tremendous job of making sure that we understand. We've studied a tremendous amount of film. Kids are beginning to learn how to study film and what we expect to find in those films. And, you know, Carroll's going to be a great challenge for us. And if we go up there and get a win, it will be a tremendous thing. We've not won a playoff game here in 15 years. Wow. So, you know, to go on the road and get a win against a very good football team in 4A is going to be a great challenge, but it's one we're willing to accept, and we're looking forward to it. When we pull out of here tomorrow, we're going to have everybody, all the kids are going to be lining the road when we pull out with their signs. They've been working, making signs this week for all these boys, so it's going to be an exciting time tomorrow. But we are going to be half a day, and then we're going to make our trip. We're going to lay it on the line, Jeff. Simple as that.
Great.
Lay it on the line.
Closing thought, Dean?
Well, same thing he was saying. I mean, I'm just proud of the boys we got here. And look, we just got unfinished business to do, and we just got to handle business tomorrow night. And just want to thank the fans again. Like Coach Figger said, it's been a fun season. And we couldn't have done it without all you helping us and being there. And just thank y'all for all your support.
Yeah, we sure do. We want to thank the sponsors that had faith in us, that allowed us to bring the games live every week, and also the Coach Phil Junkin Show. Thanks for all the good comments that everyone gives us from time to time, saying that they've watched the games or watched the Coach Phil Junkin Show. And thanks to Mr. Raymond Williams and RC Photographics for everything you do. And I said last week on the air, let's enjoy these last few weeks watching this group of seniors play.
Absolutely.
Because you'll have somebody to come along and fill in for these guys, but it won't be these guys.
That's right.
They might be better, they might be worse, but this is a good bunch of guys.
Yes, it is.
And enjoy watching Josiah run that football because his kind don't pass this way very often.
Well, you know, one of the cool things, Jeff, is, and that's why I love this job. What I love about this job is, and many years ago, we won a state championship in 1997. It was 25th anniversary. During that offseason, everybody said, you can't win. You're done now. You lost all those great kids. You lost all that great kids. Well, that bunch behind them heard all that. And they went in that weight room and worked hard, and they got better. And, you know, and we see that with these kids. I think Dee would echo that. We see that with these kids. They don't want to be the ones that say, hey, we let it slip. So we're excited, and we're looking forward to it. And again, we appreciate everybody for their support. And as Jeff says, go Bucks.
Right. We'll be right back. We're going to take a chance to recognize those sponsors we talked about. Don't tune away. We'll be right back on the Coach Phil Junkins Show. Welcome back to the Coach Phil Junkins Show. Inside Buccaneer football. We're going to have a change of pace here inside Buccaneer baseball with Coach Matt Sessions. We're still here at the Fall Fest. The jumpy thing in the background, always a favorite. Coach, you always get out the old baseball gloves, and regardless of how far the Bucks go in football this year, even if you win a state championship, the guys that play baseball too will have to get out the old gloves. I know that you have some guys already getting ready and have been doing a lot of off-season preparation for baseball. Talk a little bit about the baseball program going forward from here, what we can expect next year.
Yeah, well, they have. We've already started our throwing program and everything else with our baseball-only guys now. As far as coming in this year, we've got a lot of guys coming back, and we've got high hopes. We're going to have a lot of young players still back, but with the growth that we've learned from last year going into this year, we hope to be able to negate a lot of learning that we did before that we had to spend a lot of time on, and they're getting used to our system now. And we've got high hopes for this upcoming season. We've got some returning starters that we feel could lead us to do very good things. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it's always a luxury to have your ace back, Grayson Painter, shortstop as well as the pitcher. And then it's important to have the battery together. Now between Schlegel and Bubby, you have two catchers there. That's a huge luxury because a lot of times people have to make a catcher out of somebody else. Two true catchers, your ace is back. So talk a little bit about how that's going to make the team.
Well, I can tell you, as far as catching goes, we haven't, in all my years, probably in 13 years, I haven't had two catchers of this quality. Like I said, to keep coming back. Like I said, last year we had a couple of them that were good. And this year with Slogel leading the pack, he has a good core with Grayson. I've called him a lot. Bubby's the younger catcher coming up, strong bat as well, so we'll find ways even when he's not catching to get him in that lineup. And I can tell you as far as Painter, he's had a good off season. He's played a lot. His velocity's climbed a good bit. We're getting close to where our aiming point was at the beginning of the summer. And they continue to work, and I'm hoping that he can lead our pitching staff into doing great things.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Whenever you talk about the three we've just talked about, and that's Bubby and Caden Schlegel and Grayson, that's three of the top batting averages you had last year, too. Now we're leaving a lot of guys out, but we did have some young guys have to step up and play. Hey, that only helps for this year. And I'll be doggone, we wasn't able to have Bienvenu pitch last year. Matty Bienvenu, he had the strained ligament and rested the whole year and goes up to Southwest, and the first time they clocked him, he clocked him 90. We could have used that last year. But talk a little bit about Matty B and how proud we are of him at Southwest and so on and so forth.
Matty B's doing really well. I talked to Edmondson the other day, and actually he's up to 92 now on the gun. Edmondson, out of his mouth, told me that potential-wise, with his stuff, that he could be one of the strongest pitchers on his staff.
Wow.
It was unfortunate what Matty B went through last year. It hurt us when he did go down with the arm injury. But Matty B he was able to help us and benefit us with his stick last year. And like I said, at Southwest, I know he's going to do great things. He's a good kid with a great family, and nothing but good's going to come from that.
Yeah, we can expect to see Coach Watts back again this year.
Absolutely.
And look, he's a fantastic coach. I love him as a coach, but he's got a green thumb. He is an exceptional groundskeeper. And I thought that our infield grass looked better than anybody that we saw on the road last year. When does that start? And hey, we're gonna need some parents to come help at least on one of those days.
We actually, he just left. He's come. He works his butt off. That guy is nonstop all the time. He literally, we just finished dethatching. We're just gonna be planting next week, and that joker, green thumb's an understatement. It doesn't come easy. That joker works nonstop.
Yeah.
As far as everything else, this year we do have a younger staff pitching wise. Outside of Vivian, Bickham, and Painter, you know, a lot of the other ones haven't had that pitching experience that we want. So my goal was to work more with them individually and allow Coach Watts to take on a lot of the team stuff while I'm working individually with them. And it is a huge benefit to have on staff.
Yep. Now, I know a lot of you in our listening audience are in the football mode, but Coach, nobody loves Friday night football better than I do, but when baseball gets cranked up every year, I say, man, I could do without football, basketball, any of it. I'm a baseball man.
Amen.
You know.
Amen.
So we look forward to it, Coach. Thanks for joining us on the Coach Phil Junkin Show. Coach Matt Sessions, we look forward to a great baseball season. Welcome back to the Coach Phil Junkin Show inside Buccaneer Football Fall Fest edition. We've talked to Coach Phil Junkins and Dean King, our baseball coach Matt Sessions, but the winningest program on campus these days are the cheerleaders.
I don't know about that. That's
Well,
very
I
sweet.
do know about it. And Miss Lori Schilling is the sponsor. Miss Lori, you've won the Washington Parish Showdown exceptionally well in Jackson, Mississippi, and your cheerleading team, there's nothing but good things to say about
Thank
it.
you so much. They work really, really hard.
Talk a little bit about the cheerleading squad this year.
We have a great team, a young team. Mostly they're young girls and young to a team atmosphere that we bring, and they've worked exceptionally hard. We have 3 seniors that are graduating off of the team of 19. So we're really excited to have a huge group of those girls that are coming back. Of course, we've battled injuries and all throughout the season. That started out with camp with a broken ankle with one of our strongest girls, and so we've battled back from that, and they have persevered and shown great poise and grit throughout the season, and I'm very, very proud of them.
19, that's a huge squad. And it's so entertaining. We always say every week at halftime, we won halftime.
Oh, that's
No doubt about
yeah.
that. In Jackson, that was a huge win. Tell us about that competition and what goes into that.
The Jackson competition is actually our state championship. So it would be the 5A state championship for cheerleading in our sport through MAIS. And of course, we won that 3 years ago, and we've performed very well the last 2 seasons. It's very difficult because it overlaps with softball season, and as you well know, I have a lot of my girls that are very key components to the softball program here at Bowling Green. And so the last couple of years have been tough to try to juggle both of those things, but I've been very proud of them to juggle both of those successfully, and they've done very well. So we look forward to competing there again next year and have a great showing for our school again.
Yeah. Well, the most important thing is to do well locally.
Absolutely.
You know, I've had baseball teams and we might go to Florida and win a tournament, guess what? Nobody really cares except us. But whenever you play up here in Franklin against somebody that you went to high school with, that's huge. So the Washington Parish Showdown, where all the Washington Parish competitors were there, that's a great event. Talk about that.
It's a great event, and look, I'm very proud of the girls for winning it 2 years in a row, but more importantly, it means the world to me to get to see our entire parish and all of our schools come together on a field, on a common ground at night, and see each and every school represented exceptionally well. The talent of our parish was shown, and it shone brightly, and it's a wonderful event. I look forward to it each and every year, and each and every school in the parish comes out and gives it their all, and it's a great time to be from Washington Parish, and it's a great time to see all of those students and the schools represented so well, and it's a joy to be a part of.
Yeah. Well, we sure do thank you, Miss Lori, for being our interview here to close out the show. We look forward to next Thursday, the Coach Phil Junkin Show, when we'll be celebrating our first playoff victory. Also, Lori is the mother of the Cedar Sword Player of the Week last week, Eli Schilling. And then the up-and-coming El Toro, Rhett Schilling. Thank you so much for watching the show this week. Until next week, go Bucks.
Go Bucks.